Where do I even start? What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This video I decided to just go ahead and shoot a video. We're gonna get everything back together and basically get where I can focus on just one single project. I'm getting started on the body work on my bagged Blazer, which is why you don't see the body here. But I want to be able to focus 100% on this truck, and I realize I have way too many things apart or not running or something needed to be put on them. So I decided today we're going to go ahead and basically wrap up everything. So this is our last project. We can finish that off, and I actually have some other future projects planned already. But I think we're going to go ahead and start with the smallest of them all, the Micro Monster truck. I went ahead and repaired that drive shaft, actually, not replaced it, just repaired it. I'm still curious. I want to know if you guys want to see another video of this thing in dirt, maybe with some better form jumps and stuff. I'd really like to head out there again, so let me know down in the comments below if you want to see more of that. We're actually going to talk about the bagged Blazer chassis because you might be able to tell I've been doing a little bit of work on it, getting it ready. All of this kind of started because of the truck that you see in the back here. My dirt drag truck, as I mentioned in the last video with it, I really needed to get a new transmitter and receiver in it, something that was better than that old Fly Sky stuff that I had. And I really thought that the Grotner radio, like I use in my no prep car, would work perfect because I could tune the launch better. Well, I have two receivers for that radio. One is in my no prep car. The other I was actually using for the Blazer. Because that was the only radio I had with 4 channels on it, I was able to drive, steer, and then lift up the front and the rear with that radio. But I realized I was gonna need some more channels. I want to put lights on this thing, and I want that on a switch, not just right when I plug in. So that's another channel. So I decided instead of buying something for this truck, I bought a system for the Blazer, and I could just swap out that receiver into this truck. I can't really give you a review or an opinion on it yet because I literally just got it installed, but I picked up this radio link transmitter. It's the RC8X model, 8 channels. Put it in the truck and the channels are set up like I want so far. Everything worked good. I don't know how it'll perform really. I don't have any kind of thoughts or reviews on this thing just yet, but if you want to know what I think about it as I work with it a little more, let me know down in the comments below. But installing this led me to actually finally go ahead and do some electronics trays. You can see I have a battery tray. I'll probably end up going with a little bit bigger of a battery, something with a little more capacity. But we have a tray on the opposite side for the ESC and the receiver. And I actually went ahead and did a little quick wire up here to be able to test it all out. Now, I didn't get any footage of it, but I did test it out. It drives, it steers. Well, it used to steer anyway. While I was driving it, I actually broke one of the bell cranks on my steering. So I actually have a new set of those printing right now. Everything worked pretty well. Why don't we go ahead and I can show you that. So I have 2 switches set up on the radio link transmitter here. There's a PS1 here that lifts up the front as you see, and then a PS5 right here on my thumb that lifts up the back. And you probably saw that works pretty well. One main issue though. It works pretty well like this, but the second that I stuck that body on there, it does still lift it up, but it's a little slower than I'd like. So as much as I didn't want to do it, I went ahead and spent the money. I have 2 new servos coming in for the front, some reef servos that should be more than strong enough to lift this thing up, and also a new dual axis servo for the rear. I believe this one was a 17 kilogram servo. The new one that I have is 26 kilograms, so that should lift up the back a whole lot better as well. Like I said, you don't see the body here because I'm actually working on it while making this video. I'm also shooting a video on doing the body work and priming, getting that body ready for paint. I just shot a coat of primer on it this morning, so look out for that video coming soon as well. On to the dirt drag truck now. We're swapping out that receiver first off. Like I mentioned, I'll be able to use my Grotner X8E radio now. Main reason is that start function in the radio. I've talked about it a lot with my no prep car before, but basically it allows you to program in a set throttle position for a certain amount of time. So especially on loose dirt out there where I'm not getting a whole lot of traction, I can set the truck to launch a little slower with a little less power, I guess. That way I'll get a smoother launch and then bring in the power later on in the run. Obviously, the big thing with the dirt drag truck is the shocks. Knocked off one of those shock caps last time out and decided I wanted to replace the shocks. I really didn't want to spend the money on them, but there was no better option than the Proline Power Stroke shocks. You may call me a little crazy for what I'm doing here, but the springs on those Power Strokes were a little too stiff. I was just going to replace those lower springs with some softer ones, but I didn't have any that sharp, and I want a little bit of droop in this suspension. So instead, I'm pulling off the progressive springs with the shorter spring up top and the longer spring on the bottom, and replacing them with the white associated springs that I had on my original shocks before. So I'm going from those double springs to just a single spring. This way I'll have that soft suspension, that soft spring, and also be able to have a little droop since this spring is a little shorter. Going with some 30 weight oil here. I don't want anything too stiff. One more thing I'd like to add to the dirt drag truck before we finish it off. After ripping the body off of this thing about 17 times, I finally decided I need to put a wheelie bar on it. That's the main reason why I keep ripping the body off. Truck does a wheelie and flips off from the back. So figured out I could just reuse my old wheelie bar that was on this car when it was a no prep car, but thanks to a couple of tips from you guys, we're gonna modify it to make it work better for off-road use. Many of you told me about how not to use wheels on a wheelie bar for this, as in the dirt or sand. Those wheels cause drag and slow us down a lot. They basically sink into that sand or dirt. We don't want that, so I'm gonna use this original wheelie bar, and I took a piece of Lexan here and bent it into a little tray, and it's just gonna bolt on the sides. Everything will bolt back into position, and we'll have a nice quote-unquote wheelie bar that can glide along the surface. No issues at all. That fits pretty well back here. It's a bit higher than it used to be on the no prep car, but it might even need to be higher. We can easily adjust it once again with my wrench. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Interested to see how this will perform when we can get it out there again. I'm not sure if you could hear today, but it's been raining a lot all day today. Fits under nicely, and that should protect our body pretty well. We got one more big thing to fix to wrap up today's video though. The Losi LMT is the last thing I need to wrap up with today. I went out earlier this week to actually film a video with this thing and had batteries charged and all, and forgot about my broken wheelie bar. Last time out, I landed on a wheelie bar a couple times too hard, I guess, and broke the plastic wheel I had back here. I played around with designing a new wheelie bar and stuff, but I just decided to pick one up. This one comes from Amazon. I'll leave a link down below if anybody's interested. I didn't want to put too much time into designing a new wheelie bar for this truck, as I have some other plans for it in the future. So I figured this was going to be my best route. I'm going to go ahead and replace that wheelie bar, and actually, I don't know if you could see back here, we need to kind of fix up this body a little bit too, put some more shoe glue and drywall tape back here. So wrap that up real quick and we can wrap this video up. So we got a new wheelie bar, some shocks, a new receiver, and another wheelie bar, and a new radio and some electronics trays for the K5 Blazer build. Oh, almost forgot. We fixed the Micro Monster truck too. That leaves everything wrapped up, I believe, besides the Blazer build. Now I can focus 100% on it. We can go out and run these other trucks in the meantime and don't have to worry about fixing anything else for now. Like I mentioned, I do have some servos on order to replace for the K5 Blazer. Should give us a little more power lifting up that body. And I've already started the body work on the body, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the video on that coming soon. Let me know down in the comments below, which one of these do you want to see out running first? Well, besides the Blazer anyway, because I'm ready to see it moving along. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of a wrenching video today, kind of getting everything back straight. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and as always, thanks again for watching. Peace.